Please like, subscribe, and be sure to click that bell button for regular and exciting indie film content and your chance to be the first to engage with the Liftoff Global Network of Film Festivals as we embark on launching the careers of the filmmakers of tomorrow.
Hello everyone and welcome to today's stream. Today we are looking at the Manchester Liftoff Film Festival winners and we're also looking at the Austin third roundup. We're going to start with the Manchester winners, but before we do that I just want to fill you in on a little bit of what is going on here at Liftoff this week. So we're going to take a quick look at some Liftoff news. There we go. That's the way to point. There it is. So what is happening here at Liftoff this week? So Austin is still running. As I just mentioned, we're in the third week. The festival comes to an end on the 1st of May, where then the projects will be moving into the network round. We also have the... There we go. We also have the First Time Sessions finalist announcement this week. So if you have been taking part in the First Time Sessions, we are announcing the finalists this week. The top finalists on each page will receive intermediate membership, and then the winners, the overall winners, will be announced next week. We also have the Tokyo Liftoff Film Festival official selections. So this went out last week. So do check your emails if you applied for the Tokyo Liftoff Film Festival. We also will be launching that next Monday. So do stay tuned for a YouTube stream on what to expect from the festival. And then finally, as I mentioned, the Austin Festival is taking place, and the Austin online networking event will be this Wednesday. And if you have applied to take part in that, you should have received all of the information. We will be going on an amazing video call this Wednesday, and we'll be watching all of your fantastic trailers, personal show reels, actor reels, whatever material you are sharing with us. We'll be so excited to see that. These are one of our favorite events. So that is what is happening here this week. But as I mentioned, we're all about the Manchester winners. So I'm going to get the post up. So I'm just going to share my screen and we're going to start. Here we go. So, ta-da! All of this information can be found on the Liftoff website. All you need to do is head over to liftoff.network, head to film festivals and down to Manchester, and you will now be able to find all of this information that I'm about to share with you on my screen. I can see that there are a few people that are currently watching. If you have any questions or just like to say hello in the chat room, please feel free to do so. It is now open, so do say hi. Okay, we're going to start. We're going to go one by one. First of all, we're going to start with the overall winners for the Manchester Festival. And as I mentioned, all of this information can be found on our website. Okay, so overall festival winners, a huge congratulations to Once Upon a Time in the Canaries. This was a film that was had an audience that was so engaged with the film. It was also one of our top audience films, but the jury also agreed, and hence why it has become a festival winner. So this film, which is a feature, has been chosen as the best feature narrative from the Manchester Liftoff Film Festival. It has also been shortlisted for a season award as a best feature narrative film. So well done to Amado Ravlo, well done. Up next we have Ambitious 220, and this is by directors Henry Terry and Marcus Brooke. This is a fantastic documentary and has also been season award shortlisted for best feature documentary. So it's won the festival as best feature documentary and also has been shortlisted for a season award. Well done. Up next, we have the deportation of a model citizen. So if you were following along on the audience votes as well as our first looks that we were doing for the Manchester Festival, you would have seen that this film was being highlighted by our jury, and it was also doing incredibly well by the audience as well. So the deportation of a model citizen by Jacob Thomas Pilgard has picked up the best short film from the Manchester Liftoff Festival and has been shortlisted for a season award for best short live action narrative. The final film that we're announcing as a festival winner is On to Midnight, and this is directed by Callum Wilkins. Huge congratulations, you have picked up the best short documentary from the Manchester Festival, and you have also been season award shortlisted for best short documentary. So really well done to you guys. So moving on next, we're going to talk about the Season Awards. So the Season Awards are an annual event that take place here at Pinewood Studios. We do film screenings of all of the nominated films at Pinewood, followed by a Season Award party where we have our ceremony and we have a red carpet event. The trophies are polished. Here you can see one of the previous years, and we just have a really, really fun night celebrating the best of the independent film that came through the Liftoff network that year. So all of the films I'm about to announce have been shortlisted for a Season Award in various categories. So there's quite a few films I'm going to announce here. So let's see which ones have been shortlisted. Up first, I'm going to show two at a time, but up first we have Short Stay, Long Stay, and this is directed by Danny Carter, and it is shortlisted for Best Acting Ensemble. Then we have The Bus to Afterlife, which has been shortlisted for Best Animation, and this is directed by Chloe Morris. Well done. Up next, the next two films we have is a mosaic of all possible greens, and this is directed by Rosie Robinson, and it has been shortlisted for Best Cinematography. Then we have Underbelly, which is by E.D. Moles, and this has been shortlisted for Best First Time Filmmaker, or Best First Time Film. Well done. And then we have our audience choice. I'm going to try and squeeze all three into the same frame. I'm just shy. So I'm going to do the first two. So we have A Day in the Life, and this is directed by James Oates. We have Godsend by Connor Kinsey. And then we also have Once Upon a Time in the Canaries. As I mentioned, it did really well as with the jury and also with the audience. So these three films will be joining us on our YouTube channel very shortly, where we'll get to speak with Connor, James, and also Amado, where we'll get to find out more about their project, why they wanted to make it, what they're hoping to do with it on the festival circuit, and what is next for them as filmmakers. So huge congratulations to everyone that we have mentioned here today. Really well done, and thank you to everyone who participated in the Manchester Festival. Winners, you will be emailed very shortly with all of the information and the following steps. Well done. Okay, so up next we're going to move to the Manchester Festival. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen and go back to the poster scene. Yep, there we go, the online, there we go, so posters. Here we are. That is it. So we are looking at the Austin Festival now. So as I mentioned at the beginning, it is running from the 3rd of April to the 1st of May. So we're coming to the end of the festival. There's been quite a few events that we've already done. So thank you to everyone who's attended the focus groups, who's attended some of the networking events, and has also been looking at different things. So up next, we will be looking at what is finally left in the festival. So festival activities. So I'm just looking over to my screen here. And on the 26th of April, we have the online networking event, which I mentioned. And then we also have the funding workshop, which we had to switch around. So if you're looking at the dates here, it says that the last looks will be taking place this Friday. That actually happened last Friday, and we're going to be doing the funding stream. We've got 3 fantastic filmmakers who are joining us on that call, as well as headed by Laurelyn. I always call them Laurelyn, by Carolyn and Lloyd. And on the 3rd of May, the films that have done extremely well with the audience, as well as the films that have done really well with the jury, will be migrating into the network round. So there'll be 2 films from the audience that will move into each page, as well as a handful of jury films. Okay, and then around the 12th of May, we will be announcing the winners, as we've just done for the Manchester Festival. Let's start with some statistics. So we're going to look at the local filmmakers program first. So the local filmmakers program is doing extremely well. We've had 667 playthroughs. We've had a whopping 125 votes in so far, and we have an audience of 130. So that means there's quite a few people that are still left to vote. And as I mentioned, I don't know if we did mention it, but one of the rules of the festivals is that you have to vote for your 2 favourite films in order for your votes to count. So if you're voting for one film, your votes will be invalid. So you have to make sure that you're voting for 2 films. So we're going to take a look at the Austin Local Filmmakers program first, as we've got up here. And the film that is currently in the lead is The Story of Samsung by Lonzong Young, and this is currently on 45 votes. It's fantastic animation by Rylon Wiley from the USA and the Texas area. So this is a short animated film based on the life of the biblical figure Samsung. The story is narrated in a rhythmic, urban, poetic fashion. So really well done. Really closely behind it on 41 votes is a fantastic film, and this is Smile Now, Cry Later. And this is by Keanu Carando from the USA and also the Texas area. Keanu joined us on one of our focus groups. It was so lovely to meet you. So thank you so much for being involved in everything that we're doing here at Lift Off. It's fantastic to have you on board. Keanu's film is all about Joey. So we meet Joey at a low point in his life, struggling to keep his mental health afloat. He has a lingering desire to take psychedelics to mask his pains, but when he reconnects with a long-term friend, Lila, she gives him the strength to see past his fears. He then decides to take LSD to confront his inner demons instead of running from them. There we have it. Up next, we have the Trendsetters page. So this is a fantastic program. It's been doing extremely well here as well. We've got 766 playthroughs. We have a total of 142 votes in so far and an audience of 150. Up first, we have Download My Heart in the Metaverse. Now, if you've been following our streams, then you would have seen our YouTube roundtable discussion with Mo Rebeck, who was the winner of the Berlin Festival as well as an audience choice. So if you are wondering what to expect from one of those audience choice roundtables, go ahead and watch the Berlin one. It's a fantastic conversation with 4 filmmakers. But Mo's film follows the world's first music video set in the metaverse. The film takes the audience on a grand musical tour of the metaverse, and it's part of the Download My Heart series by #Queens. Up next, we have Devil's Income, which is on 26 votes, and this is directed by Danny Humphrey from the USA. Sonny, an unemployed gambling degenerate, loses everything in a game of Texas Hold'em. With the threat of death lingering over Sonny's head, he has 24 hours to pay his debt to Siggy, leader of the biker gang. In desperation, Sonny reaches out to his brother Vonnie, an ex-gang member, to help Sonny to get out of his debt. Fantastic. So really well done to these 2 filmmakers. Up next, we have the features program. So we have 219 playthroughs so far on this program. We have an audience of 40 and 47 votes in we have an audience of 47 with 40 votes in so far. So when we're sitting here next week for the final roundup, we're going to see the final verdict from our audience. But there will also be 24 hours left to get your votes in. So up first, we have Back at It, and this is currently on 19 votes. It is from the USA, from Natalie Kravenov from the USA. Back at It follows a diverse group of working comedians as they navigate New York City in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic. And then the final film, which we are announcing here today, is Tiramisu on the Beach. If you were watching this last week, you would have seen that this was drawing with 4 other films. It is currently broken away from the pack and is on 6 votes. So really well done to John Brecker from the USA. Yes, Rupert. The story of man and woman, intense high-powered attorney resetting opposite sides in a sexual harassment case, who meet on the beach to discuss an out-of-court settlement. But what starts as a celebration eventually turns into a verbal war by 2 headstrong individuals bent on winning the battle of the sexes. All of these films that have been mentioned here today are absolutely fantastic, and really, really well done to all of the filmmakers that have managed to rally up these votes for their projects, and to all of the filmmakers that are taking part in the festival. As I mentioned, next Monday we will be back here looking at the final roundup for the Austin Festival, where after the stream you'll have about 12 hours to get your votes in, and then we're also launching the Tokyo Festival. So stay tuned, and we will be back next week. Thank you to everyone who joined us, and to everyone who has been watching this live and taking part in the festival. Thank you so much. Until next time. Bye-bye.